Hey everyone, I really hope that this is a good angle. I don't think it is, and I don't know if you guys can hear me because I don't have a microphone on, but I wanted to introduce something very special. I was finally able, or we were finally able, to get a fully electric vehicle. This is our 2019 Chevrolet Bolt EV. So let's get some video. So this is it. This is our 2019 Chevrolet Bolt EV, full electric, no gasoline, nothing like that. So this is GM and Chevy's first attempt at a full electric vehicle in many years. Obviously the EV1 back in the 90s was GM's first all-electric vehicle. Let's not talk about that, that kind of ended in disaster. But this is Chevy's like I said, all-electric, about over 200 miles of range, about 238 miles on the EPA rated scale. And like all manufacturers, they're trying to come out with those affordable long distance range electric vehicles, and this is Chevy's attempt. The Chevy Bolt has been out since 2016. It started off as a 2017 model year, and now we are on the 2019 model year, and I've heard that they are working on a redesign and refresh for 2020. So yeah, they are working on new cars. I know that GM has announced that they're trying to come out with more than 20 electrified vehicles by 2020, 2021, the magic year of 2020. A lot of manufacturers are coming out with them. But as you can see, we got ours in a nightfall gray metallic color. It kind of looks like shark skin, and in some light it has this really beautiful green iridescent tone and hue to the color. It has this really nice black grille with the black Chevy bow ties. When I got this car, I actually wasn't even planning on getting it with the black bow ties. I'm pretty happy with them. The yellow ones are pretty cool, but I really prefer the black ones. It has LED accent lighting, HID headlights, and the one thing that I have to put a thumbs down on is it has it has iridescent turn signals. So I don't know why they didn't go with LEDs. You know, with it being an electric car and it being almost 2020, you think it would have LEDs. So that's one thing that I'm kind of knocking it for. But everything else I really like. One thing that I really like about the vehicle, I've always been a fan of hatchbacks. Hatchbacks to me have always been something that is functional and just cool to look at. I wish hatchbacks were more popular here in the US, so I'm really happy that GM went with a hatchback style for the Chevy Bolt. It has this very tiny little front area because there's no engine under here. We're still trying to figure out the dimensions. It's hard to park this car just because of how short the overhangs are. But as you can see, it is a 5-door. There's 4 doors on each side, and then there is a nice hatchback with a decent boot for storage. And I say boot, I guess you could say trunk space, whatever you prefer. But it is a really nice style vehicle. I really like the black lines that go from here. It says Bolt EV right there. And then it kind of continues down to kind of give it like the floating roof effect. It's pretty nice. It has these really nice 17-inch silver rims. This is the LT trim, so it is kind of like the base trim compared to the other trims. If you get the Premier model, it's the one step above that gives you things like leather seats, a different sound system, and the really nice machine finish rims. But these are just the painted 17-inch aluminum wheels. Now for me, the best part of the vehicle I think has to be the back end. I really like what GM and Chevy did with the designing. You have these really nice LED tail lights, kind of creates like a lightning bolt effect, which relates back to the Bolt. You have this really nice piano black glass finish that ties into the back windshield, and then it kind of ties back into that lightning bolt theme over here. Similar up front, you have incandescent bulbs down here. When you pop the trunk, you can see those lights turn on down there because there's no tail lights here for regulation and safety. They have to put the lights down there. So when you shut this, you'll see they'll turn off right away, and these will pop back on. But down here, you have your reverse lights. your blinker, and then those incandescent bulbs. I'm personally going to update them to LED because I really feel like they need to be LED, just because they're more efficient, they'll last longer, and so forth and so forth. Similar up front, you have the black Chevy badge, which is an option. You have parking sensors and this really nice chrome strip down here. And I'll get out of the screen for once because if you couldn't tell, it kind of makes me nervous to be in front of the camera. Still trying to get through that. But I wanted to show you guys the boot space. It's deep. The one thing that I was kind of disappointed about, honestly, is that the 2017s come with this shelf that kind of makes this flat, but I was told that the 2019s don't have that. If anybody is watching and if you have a 2019 that has that shelf, that would be awesome if you could tell me where to get one, because I would love one. Here's the level 1 charger that came with the vehicle. We have our nice safety emergency kit. These seats do fold flat. You kind of get this this like little shelf up here that attaches to the lift gate to lift up and kind of gives you more privacy. But the seats do fold flat. We'll just open this, and since I'm 6'1", we will see if this folds totally flat. So it's nice, it gives you enough space. Similar, like I said, because you don't have that shelf, there is a decent gap, kind of drops maybe about a foot. So kind of have to be careful if you have an animal back here or whatever. But it's nice, it's pretty functional for long items. I've seen people carry bedposts, 2x4s, the whole 9 yard in their Bolt. That's another thing I really wish Chevy would have named it a different name other than the Bolt, because I had a 2012 Volt with the V, and the name throws me off a little bit. It throws a lot of people off. They're not really sure what I'm talking about. But I really am grateful that we were able to get this car, because I've wanted to go full electric for a long time, and we were finally able to do so. But yeah, so I will try to figure out what I want to do with this series on the Bolt. Kind of just wanted to do an introduction of the vehicle and kind of just inform people about like a high-level overview of what it is, and we will see where this takes me. So one thing I want to mention is the charge port. So the charge port is right on the front fender of the vehicle. It's spring-loaded, so you just press that and open it. And my car comes with the optional $750 option, which blows my mind that it's an option, the DC fast charging, which is this little flap right there. So that allows you to charge your car from 0 to 80% in about an hour, depending on where you're charging. I know on fast chargers, the car will charge at 50 kilowatts, but believe it or not, that is an option. Some cars don't even have that option, but you see the J1772 charger, so that's typically what you would plug your vehicle in. That's kind of the standard for level 2 charging on most electric vehicles. So we'll step right in and kind of get some shots of the interior. Let me turn off the lights. But you can see that it has a little hard plastic, but that's okay. This little rubberized area right here, really nice accent to kind of break it up. And I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's kind of like a little like diamond pattern, and that follows along the entire dashboard. So it goes across the dashboard to the other side. These seats are really cool. They're like this very modern gray and white cloth interior. It's very, very nice cloth. It kind of reminds me of like a denim material. And it has this really nice flat loading or flat step-in area. So you want to get in. Sorry, this is such a weird angle. I'm trying to figure this out with my gimbal. So you could see that the car right now has an estimated range of 243 miles. And it's not on a full charge because I actually drove it this morning. But when I woke up this morning, we had about 260 miles on the gasometer, as they call this. So this little meter right here fluctuates based on your driving style, exterior terrain, exterior temperature, your climate control settings on the inside. So that will change based on what you do. So right now I have the climate control settings on, so I'll turn that off. And as you can see, it didn't change because I didn't have the AC or heat on. And then over here, when you put power into the motor, this number right here will fluctuate based on the electricity that you're putting into the motor from the battery pack. And obviously this center area, you can see that it shows your speed, your direction, as well as the music that's playing. But what's really cool is that you can take these buttons on the steering wheel and adjust what you see. So you can see like vehicle info, audio, your phone, OnStar navigation if you have that, different layouts so you can kind of configure the screen, and different options. So for example, with vehicle info, you can see it kind of gives you a tripometer with how many miles per kilowatt you're using. So I think I'm driving pretty efficiently. I'm not sure. My husband likes to do hard accelerations, kind of the jackrabbit starts, because in an electric car, it's fun. You know, you can do stuff like that. But I prefer to just kind of do my own thing. But over here, you have this 10.1-inch touchscreen, and correct me if that's not the right dimension, but it kind of looks like a standard size iPad. For my hand, as a size example, it's a big touchscreen, and it allows you to do different stuff. Like it has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and there's a squirrel. There it is. Hi, squirrel. Please don't jump in my vehicle. I'm gonna roll up the windows because you're staring at me. So anyways, so this will control things like you can see it has, mine has the winter package, so it has these really nice heated seats on both sides. You can see things like your energy usage based on different charts, kind of what you're doing on a full charge, which is pretty cool to see. Down here, obviously, you have your media controls. This will bring you back to the home screen. Based on, it's kind of reminds me of like an Android tablet. In fact, I think it is actually running in Android software. It has obviously the skip buttons, your different climate control settings. It does not have dual climate control. It does have automatic climate control, so that's pretty nice. As you can see, it also has right now temporarily Bluetooth and 4G. That's through OnStar. I have 1 month left, I think, on that. But then you can see it also has that really nice diamond pattern throughout. You have little cup holders, and sorry, I'm trying to get my gimbal to move. Little cup holders right here, and then you also have this is the gear shifter. It kind of reminds me of BMW. So there's park up here, then you obviously have reverse, neutral, drive, and then down here there's a little L that shows up. So L is going to be like heavy regen. So electric cars, you know, they utilize that kinetic energy of the tires, and whenever you take your foot off the accelerator or put your foot on the brake, it captures that energy and puts it back into the battery pack. So that kind of allows you to travel further when you're in the city. So the way this works, there's a little button right here on the side. If I want to go to reverse, I push it up so it goes into neutral, and then over, and then the backup camera shows up. If I want to go to drive, I just pull it down, so now I'm in drive. And then you see that little L that showed up that was disappeared. If you want to go in L, you just push it back, and now you're in L. And then if you want to go to neutral, you just push it up, and now you're in neutral. And then if you want to put it in park, simply press that, and now you're in park. It's pretty simple, yeah, it's really easy to get used to. The only thing I've noticed is that we had our dog in here, and he kind of almost hit that, and I was just kind of worried about how that would work while you're driving. Sorry, I just hit my gimbal. You have this nice little pocket down here. It might be hard to see, but there's like that little pocket right there. We're keeping our coins and stuff like that in there. Down there's obviously bottle holders and so forth. But yeah, it's a nice interior. It's very minimalistic. I think the only gripe that I have for the price point of the vehicle is that it is kind of harder plastics. But other than that, it really is nice. The touchscreen is fairly responsive. It's fairly quick. And yeah, and you know, the one thing that I really like about this car is that it's simple, but it gives you enough information and everything that you need to know based on your driving style. And I'm almost positive that squirrel right there, I don't know if you can see it running, was just on top of this car. Almost positive. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Energized One. I appreciate you guys supporting my channel. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe to my channel. There's going to be new content coming out. Prior, I did have an older channel that was focused on way too much, and I couldn't really get something, you know, specific. I know that it was going to be about sustainability in electric vehicles, but now that we finally have one, I can finally start doing videos based on that. So I hope you guys like this little introduction to this 2019 Chevrolet Bolt. I'm so excited to be producing new content. If you haven't yet, please also check out my podcast. It's the same title as this channel, Energized_1. It can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, so forth. Mainly just in education podcasts. Also, I'm going to be recording and doing some live stream webinars based on education efforts and unbiased information. I'm sorry, I got a little sidetracked. I'm in a school parking lot on the side lot, and I just saw someone pull by. So I'm waiting for them to be like, you're in the middle of the parking lot, can you move? So I'm probably going to get going, but thank you guys for supporting Energized One, and make sure you make every day electrifying. Take care.